welcome to the Chromatic Chimera, where the story is made up and the XP doesn't matter. It never does. I am he, known as Puddin, and welcome to the second episode of Bloody Portrait from the Shadows. Uh, Joining me tonight are Kate as Rosella, the courtesan, Anna as Giovanna, the astrologer, Chris aka Bright Dystopia as Ludovico, the diabolist, Noir as Davos, the sellsword, Mike as Enzo, the buccaneer, and Liz as Letta, Baldo Vanetti. And if I haven't made it clear, I'm the game doge. So basically I'm the game master. I'm in charge of everything else, essentially, that isn't the characters. And so, without any further ado, shall we bust into the previously on Bloody Portrait? Previously on Bloody Portrait, we met our motley crew of characters and got a glimpse into their daily lives. That was before everything was turned upside down for them. Invited to a meeting with the wealthy Lady Lenore de Toro, it was announced the group were named as the heirs to her estate and fortune, which would includes a large art collection. Things got sassy as the new family got to know each other a little more. Palms were read, demon voices were heard, and our group headed into the secret temple below the manor estate. Within this temple below the manor, there were many idols to various gods, fae, and demons, and here they found an Ars Goetica book devoted to Morax, a demon lord. Upstairs, invaders had snuck into the house, and the group were soon attacked by strange creatures. Quick wits and holy items got our heroes through the struggle, but fate of Lady de Toro still remains in the balance. So, we find yourselves standing over the dead bodies of the dead body of the twisted creature that resembles a bat twisted in the form of a man. Smoldering pile of bones sits on the other end of the room a few feet away from the guard captain's body that Davos had provided a mercy killing for. You're collecting yourselves after the battle, and that's where I turn it over to you. My favorite part, giving the action to the players.
Well, there's no point in waiting around. We need to go see about the lady.
Yes, we should go find Lady Del Toro.
May I have a bandage first? Because I'm still very much bleeding from the fist-sized bite that strange creature took out of me.
The very same. I think I would like to use some smelling salts.
All right. So if anyone... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, sorry. You're good.
I was going to say, if someone wants to attempt to heal their friend Ludovico, if you have the skill. If not, you can make it with a hard... make the check with a hard difficulty modifier to that. Giovanna, you can take those smelling salts if you desire.
Excellent. I do take some corruption for that, but, you know, it's better than being unconscious.
Yeah.
Usually, so.
I don't have... Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I assume one of your party members provides you with the smelling salts to wake you up.
I actually have 3. I'm still awake. I'm literally just snorting smelling salts to become less imperiled. Don't try this at home, kids. Do not try this at home.
Yes, a word from the channel. Don't do drugs. Or maybe.
Or
say
do.
maybe.
We're not your parents.
Yeah, say maybe to drugs.
We don't want to know. Yeah, so I can take 1 capsule of smelling salts and move up the peril condition track 1 step, but also take a point of corruption. So I'm going to do that.
Sure. You take those smelling salts.
So I don't have the talent. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to ask, so what happens if you fail a healing check at super hard difficulty?
Depends how bad you fail it. If you crit fail it, maybe bad things happen, but just a fail would be you don't do anything.
Okay. If Rosella wants to, I don't know what you were gonna do.
I was gonna try and heal Ludovico. I don't have the talent in it, so if you have the talent in it, do it.
I do not. I don't
Shit.
have the talent either. So maybe we can do it together, and I will start pulling since I don't carry any of this stuff, I will start tearing pieces of cloth off the end of my linen shirt
Sure.
that
The
may or may
light is
not be clean.
dimming. It's getting darker.
I smack his shoulder. Shut up.
Ah,
If we do it together, does that help in any way?
I'll give it only a +10 for whoever wants to roll it. Or
ah.
we could have even more fun, where one person rolls the 10 die and one person rolls the 100 digit.
No. I'll-
Oh, Satan.
Okay. So it's just hard instead of arduous, or is it challenging instead of hard?
It is challenging instead of hard.
Okay.
Okay. Let's try this.
Do you want to roll it?
It's his life.
No.
Do you want help?
Yeah, I'll roll it. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll roll it. All right. Where is health? I don't particularly like
Oh.
Ludovico, so
I
we'll see how this
Heal is
goes.
under intelligence.
Yeah, and so I've got a lot of pips in intelligence, so I might be okay.
Oh.
Okay. I only have okay, yeah, you do it.
Okay. Shit.
Shit.
Yikes.
God. Tell me.
So you're trying to bandage Ludovico, and you're like, it's on around the neck. And it's too tight. You like he's like, I can't breathe for a minute. And you're unfortunately, they didn't teach you medicine back at the monastery, or you just didn't pay attention to those courses.
Sure did not.
Hospitaller, you are not.
Can I try?
You can try.
Cool.
Remember, we also have fortune points,
Yes. Yes, we have our fortune points.
and those reset at the start of every session. So we are now back to 7 fortune points for the players.
Then I will use a fortune point. Doge, could you remind me what that does?
You can re-roll a check. Like, you don't
Sweet.
have to
Okay.
use it right now.
Okay, I'm gonna try and heal him. If it doesn't work, I'll use a fortune point.
All right, let's see this.
I
5
holy
out of
shit!
40. So Rosella's kind of like, oh, move aside, Letta. I've got this. Like you've probably had to help a few of the other courtesans after the rather unfavorable people have passed through the area
Yeah.
because people suck sometimes. You've probably helped around too, like when people like guards are like have nicked themselves or hurt themselves during sparring, and there's you to help them out. Ludovico, sure, it's a little bloodier than usual, but you managed to stop the bleeding. Ludovico will live, unfortunately, to see another day.
Man, they're such babies. Come on, let's go.
We need to go see if Madame is all right. She was down at the end of the hall, yes?
I
Lenore?
believe so. So let us lead the way. And he just kind of looks to Enzo, unsheaths his sword, and starts to head down.
Yeah, Enzo will follow, reloading his pistol. Is there windows as we make our way, like in the halls of this estate?
The room you're in now has windows, but when you go into the main corridor, you will not have the windows until you enter like, another room or something.
Quickly, can I make a scan if like I can sense like where they came from, at least from this area?
Sure. You get the idea that they came from the Great Hall across from the room you're in. So you'd cross the hallway into the Great Hall. That's where they were at.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so once we get all the way down the hall, what do we see?
So you get down the hall, and honestly, like, there's not too much. There's a lot of guards running around trying to make sense of the chaos. You almost knock into something in the dark as you're trying to make your way through this chaos. And you move through the Great Hall. No one stops you. There's no more weird shadow creatures trying to attack you. And you eventually go to somewhere that's really familiar to Giovanna, Rosella, Ludovico, the library. So you rush through the manor and you reach the doors of the library, and you kind of are following like trails of bloodshed and some dead people as you're going there too, and you reach the doors of the library, these massive hard oak doors, and you see there's a pair of dead guards who look like they've bled out from slashing wounds, and their blood paints the door in a messy pattern. their bodies laying on the ground, the only thing that would really be preventing you from opening this door.
Let's just move them out of the way. I want to make sure that the portrait is still in place. I'll grab a couple of them by the ankles or under the arms and try and move them out of the way.
Whatever is cleanest is what I will move them with.
So not much. These guys are quite whoever did this to them didn't leave much in terms of internal blood.
Ugh.
I'm bringing up the rear so that no one comes behind us down from the big room or down that hallway.
And you're taking up the rear, and you're kind of watching. You hear sounds, and every time you kind of jet your sight over to the corner it's coming from, you see more guards running across the estate, again, just absolute chaos right now. And there's really no guards running by you, and you don't know why why wouldn't they follow the trail of dead bodies, but okay.
Sus.
Well, let us open the door and let us see what's inside. He opens the door.
So you take the handle of the door and you pull this heavy door open.
Do I need to make a brawn check?
No, you can open the door. I was just kind of letting you step into the room whenever you're ready.
Okay, here we go. So he with one hand he just kind of opens the door and he's leading with his rapier, just kind of pointing, waiting for whatever's going to be on the other side. And he's got once he passes through the door, he's got his hand on his flintlock in case he sees something in the distance. He could just take a shot.
Okay. And who's going to be following up Davos in this operation here?
I will go. I want to make sure that the portrait is still hanging above the mantelpiece where it's supposed to be.
Alrighty.
And I'll follow Giovanna to look for Lenora and make sure she's all right.
Alrighty. So, it's honestly, I just need the first 3 people for the moment. So
That's promising.
Yeah.
You enter the library.
Davos and the ladies.
Sus.
Thanks, I hate it.
You enter the library. Only the light of a candle, meekly flickering from one of the tables, illuminates weakly the darkened chambers of just books that line these walls. Moonlight streams in through the windows, and you hear a desperate gurgle as you look to the ledge above some of these bookshelves. There's a balcony, and hanging above one of these magnificent collections, you see Lenore just kind of like limping over the railing, and her throat's like there's just streaks of blood flowing from her throat, and she tumbles over the balcony, her body thudding against the marble floor. A figure, and standing up in the balcony, a figure clad in a midnight-colored hooded cloak holds a dirk, the blade shimmering lightly from the candlelight. You cannot get a glimpse of their face, and when they see that you have entered the room, they immediately turn to run.
Davos just goes, "How very terrible. We are rich." And then he goes to give chase.
I try and slap him as he runs, and I run to Lenore.
I also immediately run to Lenore.
Okay, so this is when the other 3 people can also enter the room. Davos, we're about to enter a chase sequence here with you, too. So the fact that you entered the room first is important to the chase scene.
Ludovico is going to be dragging himself on the floor just by his hands and sliding on his hip.
So fucking dramatic.
No,
Yeah,
Enzo will pick him up as he has his blackouts.
Thank you, my new brother, for carrying an old man in his weakened state. I appreciate it.
All right, Ludovico, we'll talk about this later. I'm going to also make my way towards the lady.
All right. So 3 of you are rushing to aid the lady, and I'm guessing Ludovico's in no condition to give chase.
No.
I am going to take a look at the room and probably follow Davos.
All right, so Letta and Davos are going to give chase against this mysterious assailant.
Good luck.
We will get. I will get back to those of you staying with the lady, but right now, we're going to commence a chase. So what's going to happen here is you have that wonderful agility score. Time to put that thing to use. So every turn during a chase in Zweihander, the person you are chasing is going to roll a d10, add their agility, and add the head start modifier, and that will determine the number that you need to hit to reach them. And if you reach them, you can attempt to stop them, basically. So that's what we're going to have happen here. Does that make sense to those involved in the chase?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one question.
Sure.
Since I did have my flintlock on the ready for somebody to do exactly this, can I take a shot before we begin the chase?
I will say you can take the shot. Yes, I will. Okay. I will rule that you can make the shot. You might not get as much of the head start bonus as you would have liked if you just immediately gave chase instead of taking time to pull gun and shoot. But if you do hit the target, you might slow them down significantly with a bullet.
Do it.
I am not throwing away my shot.
Mm-hmm.
He aims his pistol at the sky.
I fucking missed. Oh god. I'm like fucking embarrassed.
So you pull your gun, and it's dim, it's difficult, and the assailant is wearing dark clothes, so they're not easy to see, and you kind of take a random shot into the dark, just kind of praying that whatever god is listening would guide your bullet to hit your target. And we're going to commence the chase scene. So the assailant is going to get a +5 because they kind of have a head start on you. Davos, you'll get a +3. You would have had the full +5 if you didn't fire the gun. Letta, you do not have any bonuses because you were late to the party, unfortunately. So you will roll a d10 and then add your agility bonus, and if you have a bonus for head start, which is Noir's case.
So my agility is 4, so that's 10, and then my bonus was what now?
+3.
So that is 13.
All right.
Get your ass over here, boy.
And then I rolled 8 + 3 is 11.
Okay. So the target number to hit was 19. The enemy had well, they had quite a head start on you. You had to climb the balcony, run up those stairs. So So you chase the dastardly assassin through the darkened hallways of the manor, over lavish rugs and beautiful floors. Your footfalls echo through the halls as you chase the billowing dark cloak ahead of you. They dart into a doorway, into a bedroom, and you hear glass shatter as you enter the room. The running villain is leaping out a broken window. We'll get right back to you, chasers. We're going to go to the other 4 who are with Lenore right now. Lenore's body lays on the floor, lifeless. It doesn't look like she's breathing at all. There's a puddle of blood forming beneath her, either from the head wound that she just incurred from falling or from her throat being slashed by this villain.
Enzo's gonna go straight to the body and rest her head on his lap. What's the body temperature? Is it just straight cold or?
It's hold on. Let's connect a skill to this. Intelligence. I will take folklore, education,
yes,
alchemy, or heal for this.
Give me folklore.
All right.
Much obliged. Okay. So.
If you're going to play with that body, please put me down first, Enzo.
You're right next to me, if that helps.
Oh, it is gross.
That is, I passed.
Nice.
Just normally.
So she's cold, but Enzo, in your time in the wars, buccaneering, privateering, you've seen and felt many people die in your arms before. It's an unfortunate realistic thing you've had to live with, being a soldier of fortune of some kind. Lenore's cold as the Russian tundra. Like, she's cold for a dead person.
Okay, not normal. The body is super cold. This is unheard of. I don't know if it's from whatever that monstrosity we just fought, or whoever's behind all of this, or whatever that creature that all the rest are chasing. But this is unnatural.
Giovanna just sinks down to her knees and starts like patting Lenora on the cheeks, like, no, 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 no. Come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. This cannot be happening.
I'm right there with her.
Yeah.
She is gone, my lady. I'm sorry.
And she just lets out a wailing cry. She's really, really upset.
I'll hug on her and, cry with her because it fucking sucks.
And go ahead.
I was going to turn to Ludovico. Is there anything that you might know of? Do you know why or how this is even possible, Ludovico?
Set me down next to the body. I will inspect closer.
Drop.
So as Ludovico goes to inspect, we pan back over to the chase scene. The masked assailant jumping through a window, glass clattering to the ground. You hear some guards go, "What was that?" And do you wish to continue giving chase?
Oh, you know I am.
All right. Letta, will you continue to give chase as well?
So, in a quick glance out the window, do we see anything because this is a second story, right? So, is it a 10-foot drop, a 15-foot drop, an 8-foot drop?
Probably 10 feet. The building's
8
not
to
too
10
tall.
feet.
Yeah.
Can I
Okay.
use one of my fortune points to reroll the chase guy?
Yeah, sure, I'll allow it.
Okay,
There
then
it
yes,
is.
I will keep chasing.
All right. Go ahead and roll your chase die. My friend Davos, give a +1 to yourself for the just for the head start modifier. Letta, you're beginning to catch up, but you're not there yet. Go ahead, roll your chase die.
That's 15 total.
Okay. Letta, what'd you get?
5.
So Letta, you're kind of taking the careful approach to getting out the window. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Davos, you
Yeet!
so you run through the rain-soaked grass into the hurdling the small brick fences in the gardens of this estate. You duck through tree orchards and leap over flower beds to track down the killer in dark blue. They look behind as they run from you periodically to see if they are losing you. And as you're reaching the edges of the garden, a tall brick wall blocks your quarry, their way back into the city streets, and you corner them. You can now attempt to stop them with a athletics check.
Okay, yeah, let's fuck it. Oh no, I'm not an athletics guy. I didn't chase him to stop him. I chased him to kill him.
So you're gonna attack him.
Yeah.
Go for it. Letta, during this, you catch up as well. You're able to catch up as Davos is able to kind of, like, the killer runs to the wall, the classic, like, arms spread out, oh shit, where am I gonna go now? And turns around Davos, that's when you got the rapier out, and you're just like, it is go time, my friend.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Yeah, go ahead, roll your damage.
Okay. 4. So I think it's just 4.
So Davos, as you go to attack your assailant, as you go to attack him, you see in the moonlight a slight gleam of silver in your eye, as the small dirt comes up and swats your rapier away as your attack is parried.
Oh, see, this is lovely. See, I was hoping that it would be a dance. Whoever killed the lady must have some skill. And so we will test this skill before I put you to rest forever.
And the assailant doesn't say anything. They just kind of quickly flip the dirk around to reverse grip, and they reach into their cloak, and they pull out this beautiful European cruciform cross-guard long sword. Definitely something that would belong to someone of status. You've seen a lot of these fancy European knight types before.
I've been waiting to kill someone important today.
and we will get right back to that as we go to we pan back over to Lenore dead on the floor. Oops. Ludovico is about to inspect the body.
You said you would take alchemy for that, right?
Yeah, I'll take an alchemy check.
I'm gonna use one of them fortune doodads
Go for it.
because I biffed it.
Oh,
I biffed it even harder.
Ludovico, it has been a stressful night for you. You're hurting. It's hard to get a read. Yeah, Enzo's right. The body's cold for a dead person, which means fuckery's afoot. But what type of fuckery is afoot, you don't know.
Oh fuck.
Enzo, it would appear she is dead.
You okay, Ludovico? Do you need more smelling salts as I pull out like 3 more? I have a bunch.
You have smelling salt. I did not know you had smelling salts. This would be greatly appreciated.
He sort of withdraws for a second. Okay, I can give 1 to you. And
Remind me
give
what
him
this
1.
cool shit does again. Does it like do anything for me in terms of like?
It'll get rid of peril marks if you have any peril marks.
Yeah,
but you will take 1 corruption, and if you take more than 1 dose at a time, you will be mega corrupted.
And
Who cares? Give me that shit.
Meanwhile, you're passing these around, and Giovanna's just like, never mind about your smelling salts, the state of her soul at the time that she died. Who knows where she could be at this moment?
What does that even mean? What are you talking about?
Well, she did not have the chance to make a confession before she left. I mean, was taken, gone, dispatched. Who knows where she could be at this point? Lenore did many things that were best discussed behind closed doors, but everything that she did for the betterment of humanity, the increasing of human knowledge, but
What are you talking about? What was that thing that we just killed? 2 of those things. What is even happening? What is the lady a part of? What are you a part of?
I have never actually seen anything like it. Not outside of a book, but part of what Lenore did was research into topics not strictly sanctioned by the church or the government. And I was studying under her. I helped her. I wasn't advanced enough to understand what those things were or what they wanted or how they could turn a body the temperature of ice.
This is too much for me. All I did was steal paintings and antiquities for the lady. This is... and Enzo sort of just walks away and scratches his chin with his pistol, sort of still keeping an eye out as they're sort of in the middle of all this, but also just unnerved.
Wait, don't go. The salts.
And unfortunately, Enzo can't hear the ringing of steel on steel going on in the corner on the outskirts of the estate. Davos and Letta have the assailant cornered, but they have drawn a sword and they're dual wielding now. And Davos, you've fought some impressive fighters before. This is an impressive stance. It's going to be a good one. So we'll have Davos, Letta, and then the assailant go in terms of like this fight. All right. How's that sound? Does that sound good to you?
I dig it.
All righty.
All right, so I guess that means it's my turn then?
Yeah, go ahead. Make
All right. First I'm going to take aim.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just pointing the rapier at him as we're circling each other. And then he's gonna lunge and go in for the kill.
Ooh. And a miss.
I'm going to use a fang. You guys mind if I use a fortune point?
Go for it.
Gonna use a fortune point. Let's try that one more time. There it is.
And you find purchase, but okay, you do find purchase this time. So the enemy attempts to use the backhanded dirk to block your blow, but misjudges you as you make a feint with your rapier. You make it look like you're going high, but you go low. Roll damage.
And he's just gonna look at him and go, "Oh no, not the same defense twice. You must do better."
All right, so you add your agility bonus to that, or are you
Oh
adding
shit!
agility
I didn't add agility the first time. So the first one was 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, so the first one was 8 damage,
Okay.
and this one is 7 damage.
7 damage.
I screwed us up, by the way.
I
Sorry.
don't think so. I think we're okay.
No.
Wait, no, we're not. Okay, I'll fix that.
Where?
Wait, what happened?
Oh, our cameras just we
Oh,
had
okay.
we had old camera roulette. It's
Who am I now? I'm Letta. I'm Letta.
All right, I will get your damage stuff figured out in just a
No problem. Take your time.
second. So you said 8?
Yeah. The first one was 8. This time it's 7 damage. So in total, they've taken I can math 15 damage.
You are able to find purchase. You feel your rapier go through armor, and you puncture some sort of like thick mail armor with your sword. You find you made a really good strike, and this would have been a kill shot if he were a lesser man. All right, Letta, it is your turn.
Okay. Now that I think I have it all together, I want to cut off his escape. Or their escape. I don't know who this is or really what they look like besides this sword and a bit of a cloak.
Yeah, there's really not much to see besides that. In terms of
Okay.
escape, they're kind of blocked by a tall brick wall. The only way they could go is right or left. So you could position yourself with Davos to make sure they can't like bolt to the side.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. And then I want to just try and take a big poke with the staff,
With the
which
old...
is gonna do a whole bunch of nothing.
So you go to poke with the staff. Are you going to use a fortune point to re-roll that? Remember, I get the misfortune when you give me the fortune.
Yeah. That's okay. As long as I'm blocking them from escaping as I'm moving in
Yeah.
tandem with Davos, that is the important point to me. And then I will hold on to my AP to block any further escape.
Right.
With I don't know, standing in reaction stabby distance.
Sounds good. So the assailant's gonna go. And oh, they're gonna use one of their misfortune points to re-roll their own attack. Which that one will hit Davos. Davos.
And I will parry.
Yes, you can make an attempt to parry. Go for it.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Just gotta give me a second to find where I put parry. There it is. Ugh.
You go to parry the blow, and the assailant takes the dirk, slaps your rapier aside, and lunges forward with this long sword and is able to find purchase. You take 10 points of damage from the sword. Do you move up on the wounding chart at all?
Well, let us see, because this is my first time taking damage. My damage threshold is 3, 9, 15, and 21.
So you're going to take 2 levels of damage. So you're going to roll 2d6s. So yeah, you'll move up on the injury condition tracker. You will move up 2 pips. So you will be, and that is
Lightly
under
wounded?
talents and trappings. So you will be moderately wounded. So roll 2d6 to see if you pick up any injuries.
Hold on. So I can't be moderately wounded or injured.
Oh, okay. So yeah, never mind then. You're just wounded.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a bit of you're not bleeding, but that one hurt. Like that was a good shot. Ow.
So just to make sure, okay, I'm moderately wounded. Do I still put the pip even though
Yes.
I can't be moderately? Okay.
Yes, you just can't take those injuries that suck even more.
Okay.
Kind of like what Ludovico's got going on.
Well, I must say, my friend, That was impressive. Let's see what else you can do.
We'll do another round. Feel free before we jump back to the manor.
Okay. Again, I'm going to take aim, but this time it's more about focusing on Letta
Mm-hmm.
and kind of making sure that our movements are in sync. So he's just watching her footing
Mm-hmm.
and moving alongside with her. And then he's going to take his attack.
That'll hit. 15 out of 62.
Mm-hmm. And
Go ahead and roll.
Jesus Christ. So that's just 5 damage.
So unfortunate. So you find purchase, but this time, you're able to make the attack stick, but you're not able to get through the tough armor this time. So because the assailant was kind of backing up and didn't expect you to follow up after that strike. It's almost as if they were expecting you to fall from their blow. So it's kind of like you're trading blows at this point. Letta, it will be your turn.
All right. So, when we're taking a little closer look and as we're moving around this individual, do they seem like they would be a more advanced version of the foes we saw inside?
Give me skills. Give me either folklore or education check.
Okay, 12 out of 51.
They are not the same thing. That cloak is made out of regular materials. That person definitely seems like a person. Their proportions seem correct. You can't really get a look at the mug, but they're not making weird huffy bat noises at you.
Weird huffy bat noises. Okay.
Yeah, they're not going like at you.
And as they're taking damage, it's just like a really hardy person taking damage. It's not like weird avoidance.
Yeah, you definitely, when Davos is striking, you can definitely hear metal hit the mail.
Perfect. Then I will just go in with my staff again.
Sure.
And then continuing to stay 12 out of 51. Nope, that's not the thing. It didn't roll it. Okay. Roll some staffiness. Still 41 out of 52.
Ooh, that is a hit.
So as Davos and I are learning to move together to kind of bring this quarry in, I am able to hit them, and looks like damage 6.
Yeah, I'm just tracking. So okay, it actually didn't roll a d6 for you. So
What did it roll?
I don't know. So okay, it's like rolling 0 weapon damage plus 5. Oh, okay. So I don't know what happened because you should have. All right, roll a d6.
Okay. And then I add 5 for my combat, right?
Yes, and then if it's a 6, roll another one.
Okay, just 10. Perfect.
Ooh, well, that's good news for you because you're able to give the foe a good old thwack on the head, clunk, and are able to move them up. You can definitely tell you've made a decent strike.
Okay.
All right, now they're gonna go, and they're not too happy with the fact that you donked them you gave them the old dome shot. And they're gonna use one of their misfortune points. So you players are back up to 6 fortune points as the fates rebalance themselves. And that one will hit.
Okay.
And that is going to be 12 points of damage.
Okay, so first damage threshold is... So that's the one big box, right? And then you got the 3 little boxes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the one big box is 7 and the first little box is 13.
So you only take 1.
So I'm now lightly wounded.
Yeah, and you don't get injured at lightly wounded, so you're okay.
Okay. Perfect.
So the assailant then moves almost like as if water on the surface, like moving with the wind, kind of moves in towards you, spinning around, using the dirk to like strike your staff really hard to get it stuck and move it down and then stab you.
Yes.
And then after stabbing you, turns around, sheathes the weapons, and jumps up and climbs the brick wall. Like Exorcist style, like
Can
Spider-Man
make
style.
an opportunity attack.
Yeah, you both can try and make your opportunity attacks.
Okay.
I just see like fucking Letta and Davos looking at each other like.
Oh damn. All right.
I am going to actually try and I don't know if this is one of the things that I can do. Oh boy. Oh boy. Sorry. Can I try a takedown?
Is that a perilous stunt?
Yes.
I believe you have to. I don't think perilous stunts are attacks.
Okay.
So that's something you'd have to attempt on your turn.
Gotcha. In that case, I'll just go with the attack.
Okay. And can we use fortune points on these attacks?
Points. Yeah, you can use fortune points.
Okay, and how many do we have?
Now you have 6 again.
Yeah,
okay.
So
is it okay if I use one?
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask the same thing, y'all.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's even worse. Oh boy, howdy. Okay.
It's the exact same.
So you both are attempting, and it's like the assailant jumps out of the way of your strikes and continues climbing up the wall, and then kind of looks back over and then disappears into the night. And as you're kind of like humming and hawing with yourselves and kind of tending to your wounds, we pan up to the moonlight in the sky as we see a small bat silhouette flying against the moon into the night. And we go back to the manor where we have gathered around the late Lady Lenore de Toro, still making sense of everything that's going on here. And Giovanna has informed everyone of like the peril that the lady's soul may be in, kind of being included into some of the more occult things that Lady de Toro got herself up to.
Major sus.
Very sus.
Is the portrait still there in the room?
So you can run up those stairs that like your friends chased through, and you go up to the study, and you're kind of taking stock of everything. Get some lights going. Everything seems to be in place, except that portrait of Charlemagne.
I had a feeling about this.
It's like the classic, white wall underneath where the dust hasn't collected because of the painting. But everything else, still there. The only thing that's been disturbed in the house, dead guards, dead Lenore, and the portrait.
This is maybe a bit of a long shot, but I want to see if I can find any, strange hidden panels or scrap of fabric caught on something, anything that could possibly be a clue as to what happened here.
I will say that is I would say that's a scrutinize check, maybe awareness, as you're kind of putting your nose to the ground, trying to find if there's a clue here.
Let's do awareness. Oh, I actually succeeded at something. Cool.
So you're poking around the room, and you notice there's a few books that have kind of been brought up here into the study, probably by the Lady Lenore. And you can't remember the last time she actually bothered with her massive collection of books, actually pulling books from there herself personally instead of having some intern or one of her little student companions
Me.
take care of it for her.
Valet.
Yeah, the valet, right? So you there's 3 tomes on the desk there. Those are the things that kind of stand out to you, missing portrait, and then you kind of are looking around and, oh hey, look, she's got some books up here. I don't remember her having me look at these. And let's face it, you've looked at almost every book that's come through this damn library.
I'm going to walk over and begin to leaf through them a little bit.
So the first one's a kind of it's a fresh book, and it's freshly bound, nice leather binding, nice fresh pages. Things and Spirits That Go Bump in the Night by Mother Zabina. How much have you gotten out of Venice? You'd probably recognize with your territories kind of butting up against Austria-Hungary. That's a Hungarian name. You also notice there's a book called Sanguine Nocturne, Creatures of the Night by Lucius Remus. And then finally, Alchemy of Necrogenesis, various artists.
Hang on, I'm just writing all of these down because I take notes. Ludovico, think there's something up here that might be interesting to you. And then I will just start paging through the Sanguine Nocturne.
Alrighty. Ludovico, are you going to join the young student Giovanna, the ever interested in the occult? In these
Sure,
books?
he'll scoot towards a chair and get himself to stand up. And when he's finally
Jesus
standing,
Christ.
he'll like limp over there. Yo, this table next to me says serious wound, so bite me.
It's true. It's true.
It's very accurate.
Yeah.
I am 2 points away from being slain, so I'm assuming this hurts a bit.
Yes.
How much does Ludovico weigh?
I don't know. He's probably like $115 of wrinkly old man.
I will go ahead and carry him upstairs.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Rosella, are you doing anything in all of this as they're going to look at books and Lady Lenore's still there?
Playing Life Alert.
She's fallen and she can't get up.
She ain't getting up anytime soon without a little necromantic help.
Shit, I was trying to be so serious, and whoever said that, fuck you. I am going to say the Requiem Aeternam to ease her passing. And then I'm just gonna use like a corner of my dress to kind of like wipe off the blood.
Okay.
I'm assuming I notice because they've said it out loud that her body is unusually cold.
Yeah, you would notice this too after it being told to you, even though you don't encounter a lot of dead people very often. Even you're like, damn.
She's cold. Stone cold. Does her blood look weird?
Yeah, it's a little blackish at this point. It's kind of odd. It's not yeah, blood gets dark, but not this dark.
Have I seen or heard anything like this?
Give me a folklore or education check. We're gonna get a lot of those.
I do have education, I think. I do have education. Nice. And I failed.
Oh, woof. Unfortunately, Rosella, as much as you have enjoyed the offerings of Lady De Toro's library, perhaps her more occult works weren't something that interested you nearly as much as your newfound friends.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'll just clean her up as best as I can, and as soon as that's done, I will join everyone thumbing through the books.
All right, we'll get back to thumbing through books in just a second. Our friends in the garden who have been left behind by this unknown assailant, stabbed a little bit. Is there anything you two wish to do?
Davos is just gonna look over to Letty. It's fine fighting. Well, it's a pleasure being your partner. Are you okay?
Same to you. I think that was a little sharper than these leathers are used to these days. We can't fly, right?
Last I checked, I cannot.
Okay, me neither. And we're pretty sure they didn't just disturb a bat. And did they turn into one?
I have no reason to believe that they did. I have no reason to believe that they didn't. Honestly, I am still surprised to see a rich man's blade in the hands of someone who knows how to use it.
It is rare these days, isn't it?
A Christian blade, worth mentioning.
Was it?
Um, Davos would be familiar with the cruciform hilt guard used
Oh,
by the
cruciform Helga.
Christian
Yeah,
invaders.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Um. Um. Well, we should probably go make sure the others are okay. They seem sturdy, but
I'm sure they're still mourning. Let us go.
yeah.
So who's leaving first?
Oh yikes.
It's not a bad thing. It's just a narrative thing.
I was gonna have Dallas take point unless you want to have Letty do it.
No,
I don't mind.
that's fine.
All right. So Davos, you begin heading back to the manor. Letta, as you're about to follow Davos, the moonlight causes a little shimmer of something in the grass on the ground as you're about to turn away. Oh, look. It's the dirk that the assailant was using. They must have left it behind in their gambit to escape.
Okay. I'm sure it still has a little bit of my blood on it. Is this a world where it would make sense to pick it up with a cloth over your hands, or is this a world where that wouldn't make any sense?
This is a world where that would be kind of weird. Like, if that would be
Okay.
only something you would do if you were aware of the occult.
Which I am vaguely. Yeah.
So if you want to like be careful and even be like, like, oh, hey, I don't know what this thing is, like, you can be like, you do the cloth pickup. That's fine. You are slightly aware of the occult, according to things that will be revealed in this campaign.
Gotcha. No, she'll just pick it up by the leather and try not to touch anything that looks like a symbol.
Sure.
Yeah, so that whatever wraps the hilt.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to pick up the dirk. It's finely made, well balanced, really high quality metal, that's for sure. And the pommel's really interesting, but we'll get to that when we get you join up with everyone in the manor. Because I don't know how familiar you are with the noble houses in Florence. So we go back to the manor. We are in the study. We are reading books. Ludovico, you see that Giovanna's reading the one book that's probably worth reading. That Things and Spirits that goes bump in the night. You've heard of Mother Zabina. She's a quack. Trying to just, peddle her remedy cures, her holistic remedy cures to make some extra coin on the side. But hey, that Alchemy of Necrogenesis, that's a fun-looking book. You know a grimoire and a collection by various other like-minded individuals when you see it. Classic, just old brown leather cover, scratched in the title. There's like a very crudely drawn skull stamped onto the cover of the book.
Yes, Giovanna, what is it that you have found?
Well, for one thing, the portrait that Lenore prized so highly is gone. And for another, these three are out on the table. This is the Sanguine Nocturna. Have I read this before? Is this something that I would be familiar with, or is this new information for Giovanna?
So as you're talking about the books, that's when Letta and Davos rejoin you. You can both tell there was a scuffle. They both have taken some wounds, but this book is not one that you've seen in the collection before. Actually, these three, like, you've seen the Things and Spirits that go bump in the night. Like, that's like a classic one you read for like the old wives and the kids. But like, Sanguine Nocturne, Lucius Remus, he's the real deal. He's like an old Roman occult scholar, so Lucius Remus is the real deal.
Was this the book that she said that she was getting from Scotland last time? Or is this just something that I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I had no precedent for it?
it's cool, but you don't remember her mentioning anything like this.
Okay.
This is, like, Ludovico would be able to tell you that book's a find due to Ludovico's previous experiences.
Allow me
Well.
to put on my appraising glasses. Oh, yes. Not quite the treasure that we had in the basement, mind you, but quite good. Very good indeed. May I?
Of course. As long as you promise not to abscond with it, I would like to spend some time studying it.
I'm not the type to hide information. The more you know, the better. And I want to start flipping through the book, see if I can scan anything useful.
You will
reading over his shoulder as
you
well.
both will gain a point of corruption for reading this occult text.
Yeah.
So,
Oh boy, they're really going to become an evil again.
So after reading this book, Sanguine Nocturne appears to be a grimoire dedicated solely to the study of vampiric creatures.
Oh boy.
You maybe never realized just how many different types of vampires there might be out there. Except maybe Ludovico. We were talking like Lamassu, Succubi, Rakshasa, Nosferatu, just to name a few. Going through this tome would take a lot of time. Lucius Remus is well known for being very detailed and very much about that ecology. But you do stumble upon an entry as you skim through this text. An artistic rendition depicts what you believe you fought inside the manor. And the creature is labeled a Shek. S-E-H-E-K. And you begin reading about it. A Shek is a twisted creature summoned into the world by a powerful channeler, bound to a body of mortal flesh. Belial spirits, they are wicked at heart. They are also vampiric in nature, brought into our realm, usually to serve some sort of more powerful master. Sheks wear cloaks of shadow and feast upon the blood of their victims. Remus goes into detail about how Shek are, quote-unquote, messy eaters, and that they are known to be weak to holy paraphernalia, silver, and light. Their spirit can be banished from the mortal flesh they are bound to with a special spell. Spell not included. And
Cash on delivery.
And then upon death, the Shek's spirit may return to a talisman where they can be returned to corrupted flesh by their master.
Well, then that really... Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to ask Alex a question, but he danced away.
Oh, that really begs the question then. Who brought them here and why?
Could be anyone. Is there anything in the book that says how to locate these talismans?
Yeah, what do they look like?
Well, these talismans are beautiful little things. They're made out of raven's feathers, bat's wings, and wolf teeth.
Whoa.
Cool.
Nice.
The gift to craft these talismans is thought to be given by Asmodeus, a demon lord of hell. And locating them is you basically have to find whoever summoned them into this world.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume it was not Lenore, but rather the shadowy assassin that decided to break into my home, murder the people that lived and worked here, and abscond like a cowardly traitor into the night. Unfortunately, I have no way to track such a person, but perhaps Davos and Letta have some assistance that they could offer in hunting them down.
Agreed. Shall we then find our meteor companions and have them do what they do? And
they show up in the middle of the conversation at whatever.
There they are.
Giovanna kind of side-eyes you because she's also meaty. I mean, you haven't seen it in action, but when you say meteor companions, she's just like, really? Okay.
Meat of the
just
mind,
because they
not
have
of the body.
Swords.
It's the brain beef that Ludovico is referring to, not the body beef.
Well, then Rosella side eyes you.
Exactly. You're just getting side-eyed from all the sides right now.
So,
And
Davos
he
is just-
sustains himself on it. Mhm.
Davos is just walking in, clutching his side, and it's bleeding heavily. He's just, so, did we find anything out?
It would appear somebody is trying to summon demons of hell in this house. That is not doing so with the sanction of Madama, who is no longer with us. Did you find anything out in the street?
I found that our murderer is a skilled swordsman with a Christian blade, and he knows how to use it.
Well, considering that someone has been summoning demons, it seems highly unlikely that a Christian would want to do such a thing.
I'll try and patch up Davos.
All right,
Oh,
yeah,
what's
you can make that check if you want. The minus 20 if you're not skilled in it, or the plus 20 if you're not skilled in it.
Doge.
Yes.
Doge.
Is that the painting that I
Critical failure! I'm so sorry!
Oh,
Ow!
So yeah, you're gonna move up
No!
one more on the wounding condition
That's
chart.
bad! That's real
Roll
bad!
a d6, my friend.
Oh, shit!
Ah,
What'd you get?
Sorry.
I got a 3.
Okay, you're good, but
You're
still
okay,
hurt
you're
more.
okay.
So
But-
Rosella, you go to help. I'll get to you in just a second.
He just makes me
Enzo.
so mad. I don't like it.
So you're just like, stay still, and you accidentally jab him really good as you're trying to, and you end up just doing more damage than was already dealt.
Fuck. I do apologize. I sincerely do apologize. It worked
is-
better
is-
when Ludovico stayed
No,
still.
it is fine. You are
It's
wonderful.
really not. I'm sorry. I just couldn't see through the tears. It's been a long day.
I understand. Whatever it is that you poked was probably not important anyway.
It was my fingernail. It's fine.
Ugh.
Enzo. Oh, go
would
ahead.
you like
Enzo.
to go? Oh, he was just gonna go. So would you like to go for drink sometime?
Mm.
I poke him in the ribs.
We'll just call that as part of the failure right there.
I'll willingly fail that one.
Yeah, you just like kind of jab your fingers into the stab wound when he says that.
I think you need to take a nap. I think you're a little delusional.
Well, you know, it never hurts to try. Yes, the man has a Christian blade. We trapped him in a dead end. We danced a most beautiful dance. Letty is quite skilled as well, might I say. And he climbed up a flat surface and escaped in a way that is not quite human. So,
Assuming that we couldn't climb back in that 8-foot tall window that we jumped out of, did we come back in the front basically?
Yeah, you came in whichever way you needed. Yeah, you kind of could have came in through the ground floor. Things are calming down now.
Okay, so the guards are running less and things is
Yeah.
all the baddies seem to have melted away or been stabbed to death.
Yeah, basically at this point, it's like the town guard, like the Florence city guard are arriving, and they're starting to get some of the details and whatnot.
Okay.
I will go out and talk to them if they need somebody from the household.
Yeah, sure. In just a second, Enzo had a thing. Enzo, you were asking me about the painting.
correct?
Yes, that was the painting that you had acquired for the Lady De Toro. You remember? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead and finish, and then I'll ask the question.
You had obtained it off an Ottoman Janissary privateer, Umar Turan Mustafa. You remember that Mustafa had obtained the painting in a campaign from Wallachian painter. So, you know who's from there. We all do. For those who don't know, that's where Dracula's from. And the painter was a man named Sorin Moldovan. So probably a local Wallachian who painted it. And the only place that you know that you could possibly meet up with Mustafa, Isola Tesoro, or as it's known in the to those who speak the language of the pirates, Booty Island.
Now, does the painting look like it was easily just taken away? Is there any markings, trails? Did it just disappear?
It's almost as if the painting was just kind of lifted up and carried out of the study.
It's impossible. Such a big painting. Such a big painting. Okay. Sure.
Real quick question,
Yeah.
Letta, did I see you pick up the dagger, or were you kind of doing it on the low?
No, I probably would have called your attention to it. So as we come back in, I definitely would have taken a moment to kneel and pay immediate respects to Lenore, in whatever manner would have made sense for her. So if she was Christian, if I knew her religious affiliation, I would have said the appropriate prayer and or hand gestures for it.
You would have assumed Catholic Christian, but after seeing that temple downstairs, you're really not sure.
Okay. But basically paid my respects and then, limped and or slowly moved my way up to everyone else.
Okay.
At the breaking conversation, I would, once Davos had described the attacker, did we see if it was a man or a woman or just a lithe individual with a sword?
A person with a Christian sword. And the
Okay.
dirk. You didn't get too much. Unfortunately, you were fighting them, chasing them. It was dark. You didn't get a good look.
Yep. So I would relay that. I'll lean on something, whether it's the edge of the table or a bookshelf, doing my best not to bleed on anything. Everything Davos said was true. There was clinking of mail, a sword, a dirk went up a wall that no one should have been able to climb that quickly. But they dropped this. And after having wiped it off on the grass outside, or I don't know, my pants, I would hand it to, or I would present it to the group.
All right, so the group, I guess, is kind of gathered around the desk reading some of these books. And that's when Letta comes in and throws the dagger down on the table. Rosella, you're probably the most familiar with the Florentine nobility. So this dagger, this dirk, is a wonderfully made dirk. So it would be like a nice long dagger, one that would be worn by maybe a knight onto a battlefield, surely. It's the pommel that grabs your attention. Very recognizable embossment with engraved crosses set behind these large golden embossed dolphins that face away from each other. The sigil is recognizable to anyone who has a mild interest in the noble houses of Florence or with politics. Twin Dolphins is the sigil of the De Pazzi family.
Where did you say you found this?
Dropped. After stabbing both of us with it, dropped it on just in the grass.
This is the sigil of the De Pazzi family, one of the largest Florentine noble families.
That would be the case.
This is certainly not the sort of thing that you would hand out lightly to a hired assassin.
No. Could they be trying to frame the Pazzi?
Well, if it was not stolen, we can assume it was perhaps intentional.
I know. I don't understand why they would go after Lenore. The Pazzi aren't friendly with the Medicis. Bianca de Medici got married to one of the Pazzis to try and form an alliance of sorts, or at least oh God, what is it called? A pause in the fight.
An entente, which is French, not Italian, but
Zella, you are still thinking about these people as if they are still mortals, as if they are still people. I fought that man, and he moved with a grace and a skill that I have never encountered before. Him scatter up a flat window. Along with
mean,
everything else that we've encountered today, he may very well be from that family, but he may not be what he was. In fact, I don't know that I trust any of what we've encountered today. It's all different.
I mean, I I don't want to believe it, but after having one turn into dust in front of me, with those flat bat-like noses, um, this individual who I don't know that it was a man, or as they did not speak or show their face, um, they they appeared to fly away as a bat.
We need to speak to someone about this. I
I
don't
also-
know if I trust the guards, though.
I
The
believe
guard
that
here, probably
No,
above
in the
their pay
city,
grade.
just in general.
Probably above their pay grade.
For the first time, Davos is actually going to make his way to Lenore. And you kind of see that there is no, like, sadness. There is no, like, mourning. He's just looking her over. And he's just looking to see if there's anything abnormal about the body.
Basically, you would notice the abnormal, like, blackish tinged blood that is beneath the corpse. It's almost as if someone poured ink into the blood itself. Kind of like some weird reverse Jesus being stabbed on the cross thing.
So, have any of you not noticed that this corpse is not a normal corpse?
Oh yes, quite.
No, I noticed.
Letty, can I see your god thing?
The dirk, the dagger.
Whatever it is you used to harm these creatures before.
Oh, the I'll hand him the small silver crucifix.
Just takes the small silver crucifix and he puts it on Lenore's forehead.
You hear the as like it sizzles against her head as the silver hits her forehead.
She is one of those things?
Or becoming. Perhaps we should cut her head off and burn the body. Eh?
Giovanna just starts crying again, knowing that Lenore died totally in sin. Wherever she is, she knows it can't be good.
Ludovico, judging from the temple you saw downstairs, your dark father's taking good care of Lenore.
Speaking of which, at the beginning of this conversation, I think Ludovico would have liked to have slipped away down back to that basement.
Yeah, sure. Did you want to look at that other book at all, too? The Alchemy of Necrogenesis?
Yeah. Oh. I'll leave that up here and I'll come back for it. My interest at the moment, because it seems like everybody's got a handle on this whole children's story creature thing. My interest is back down with that Key of Solomon that I found earlier.
Yeah, the alchemy book is legit. There's just the Mother Zabina book is the one that's garbage. The things that go bump in the night. The one with the cute title. But yeah, you begin.
I trust Giovanna not to leave with that book if I haven't left with it, so.
Sure, so you go back down into the secret temple below, passing the idols and statues of various fae gods and demon lords and gods of other religions. And you go back to that book. The book almost calls to you. It's almost like when you pick it up, you can kind of like when you run your hand against the golden cow skull that's embossed on the cover, you can almost feel it pumping like a heart, almost beating. Whenever you're ready, you can open the book. You know what happens when you do.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it open and begin pouring through it.
Yep. So as you approach, so you flip open the leather-bound books, the black leather covers that appear more gray with age. And you kind of, as you're flipping, you run your hand over the unholy and occult symbols on this book, including pentagrams, strange upside-down cross, as well as you recognize the alchemical symbols of sulfur, which is often affiliated with hell. And the musty tome smells of old parchment, and you fear that even thumbing as gentle as possible through its fragile pages would cause the pages to crumble to dust. Many of these pages are in a strange and arcane tongue, but as you guide your eyes along the lines of text in various sketches, the book almost speaks to you instead of you reading it. It's almost as if the book is talking to you in eldritch, demonic voices. And you can't help but feel yourself drawn to a specific page. Strange symbols and diagrams catch your eye, the text almost humming a sickly green glow. The chapter covers a guide to an ritual most occult. Bind Abyssal Familiar. Because Morax rewards those who show devotion to him and know the virtues of herbs and precious stones, with wise and good familiars. You've only seen the certain stone that Morax requests in this tome, referenced only in a few times in other books. Witch Stone. It is a required component for this spell, and if you're going to cast this spell, you will need that along with other materials, including the innards of a humanoid person. Oh, it's a satanic type ritual. Don't you worry.
Sure. Where would one acquire Witch Stone?
Not the legal channels. Let's put it that way. Enzo's pirate friends would probably be decent at getting you some.
Okay. Is there a place? Is there a place perhaps that I could acquire without having to ask someone for it?
Probably not. Those who know about Witchstone guard it very, very tightly.
Okay. I'm going to take this book and tuck it into my robes and tighten it with the leather straps that I have hidden under my robes that carry small books. I will replace it with my full Italian translation. Hold on. I have 3 books on me at any given time, and I need to see which one I replace here. Ooh, that's a good one. You know what? I heard earlier that Rosella had a copy of Pliny the Elder's Natural History. So I will set down my copy of Pliny the Elder's Natural History written in Italian, and I'll keep my Malleus Maleficarum tucked underneath my other one, and I'll place the Key of Solomon in that one and leave my Pliny book on the dais here.
All right. And as you are beginning to ascend the stairs, you hear the voice from the book begin to amplify and actually speak to you comprehendively.
Mortal, is this the path that you wish to walk?
Who is this? A different voice than the one I'm used to?
Yeah, this is a different voice than the one you're used to.
Okay. Who goes there? Who has entered my mind without my permission? You are not my master.
You welcomed me when you opened my key, the book.
Ah. Well then. I am Ludovico di Inocia, servant of the Dark Lord himself.
Ah, then we will get along swimmingly.
I live to serve.
And sir,
Please,
you shall
tell me what it is you wish.
seek out dark power, bring it together, and bring the moon presence to this plane.
A path I was already walking. I would be more than happy to do this for you, my master.
Then you
May I
are
call you Solomon?
You may call me whatever you wish, mortal, for you know my true name, and that's how you may find me when you seek me in the dark.
As you wish. I am humbled by your graciousness, O Dark One.
Yes, it makes me happy to see you prostrate yourself before me, humble servant, for the Christians threaten to claim the dark power for themselves. We cannot let this come to pass.
Not while I live and breathe. Thank you, Dark One. I must rejoin the others and keep up the facade of old man.
As we all keep facades. Call me if you need me, Ludovico.
Yes, my master. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's
And he
when
will
the-
return.
Yeah, the voice the book stops humming, the voice quiets. You're gonna take some corruption for bringing that book upstairs with you. You're gonna take 2 points
What?
of
What do you mean?
corruption.
It was totally innocent.
2 points of corruption.
Cool.
All right.
I have 8 of those now. Should I be doing anything with those?
We'll
or...
get to that in a second.
Q. Good and
real
Q.
real quick, is it okay if Enzo can just go outside and see where all the guards have gone? What's the situation outside
Yeah,
of
sure.
the estate?
Still kind of chaotic, but the city guard have showed up, and now people are starting to gather. You know, all the nobles who live in the neighborhood, they're all kind of curious, like, ooh, what happened at the De Toro mansion? You know, these attacks are kind of unheard of. Nobles don't move against each other like this, usually. Usually those things are done in underhanded political deals, way above your Buccaneer pay grade.
Oh, Dios mío. Okay, I'm gonna close the door and walk back to the rest.
After Davos had pushed the crucifix into her forehead, did it leave like a welt or anything on Lenore's skin?
It did not leave a welt. It kind of was almost as if it never was placed there to begin with.
Okay.
So we need to find an axe to start cutting the body apart.
Before we get into any
before-
of that, there is quite a crowd building outside the estates. I'm talking about the city guard is finally here, nearby neighbors, aristocrats. We have a situation on our hands. Before we start getting into whatever the hell this is going to turn out to be.
Giovanna, do you think we should go?
Go talk to them, you mean? I
Yes.
suppose.
We need
Can
to
at
make up some
least-
story.
Stop them from coming inside.
You say it was an assassin. It was.
It was an assassin. But speak nothing of what they can find in the basement. I do not want any unnecessary eyes prying around this area.
Of course not. No.
And we will deal with it on our own as a family matter.
Of course.
And at some point, we will
Before-
need to discuss collecting our wealth. Yes.
Yes, we still need to go to the bank, but one thing at a time, eh, Davos?
And so it sort of winks at Davos.
Before you two leave, do any of us have handcuffs or rope or that rosary that we had earlier?
Leave all my tools in the bedroom where they belong.
Rosella has
Yes.
Giovanna's rosary, if I remember correctly.
Yes,
You still
I have the
that.
rosary.
Mhm.
May I borrow it?
Sure, it's not mine. I took it in the heat of the moment.
Please, by all means.
Okay. Before Davos can cut off heads, and as they're leaving, I will tie Lenore up.
Okay, with the rosary.
Yes.
All right. So
If I can get a second rosary or rope or anything, I will bind her wrists. I will kind of sit her in that like
Mhm.
uh safety position where you're on your side.
Yeah.
But I'll have her wrist behind her, and then I will also take her ankles if we have another rosary or we have rope or
Let's put it
silver
this
or
way.
something else.
You are in Italy during the Renaissance. Finding
Yep.
rosaries is not hard in this town.
Perfect.
So
Yep.
you are able to hog tie the body with rosaries, essentially.
Yep, and then I will keep Davos from otherwise taking limbs or a head off of Lenore.
I mean, all I would need to do is take the head.
Could you at least give me a moment to finish dealing with these guards before I have to pay respects to a headless corpse, please?
Do you have any sense of propriety, Davos?
Just because we are family now does not mean we can just go around dismembering one of our own limb from limb because of suspicion.
I apologize. I did not mean to overstep. I just simply thought that it was the most sensible thing to do. If she awakens as whatever those creatures are,
Then
I
we get
hardly-
answers.
Well, let me put it to you this way. If she awakens, you can be the first one to put her back down again. But until that point, I will thank you to leave her alone. This is someone who is very dear to me in life.
I understand, but you also should understand. And he like points to his wound. I am in no condition to have another fight with an immortal creature that can survive a sword in the heart.
I second
You're
that.
asking a lot of me.
Then we will be quick.
All right. So we'll go to a quick break then, as we go to talk to the town guards and kind of solve any suspicion that might be developing. We'll be right back, folks. Thank you for joining us. back, everyone. We are continuing the adventures in Bloody Portrait. Spoiler alert for those who are just joining us. Lenore de Toro is dead at the hands of the mysterious assailant. A crowd gathers outside, and the party's kind of started to look into matters. There's a dagger clue, there's some books, there's more weird books, and a missing painting. And Rosella, Giovanna, and Enzo have decided we're going to go and get the story straight here with the crowd. Davos and Letta are having a disagreement about what to do with the body at the moment, and Ludovico's doing some extracurricular reading. So we'll go to our faces of the house, of the family. That's what the party is referred to in this campaign, in my mind, is the family. You come outside, there's some guards holding like a crowd back. You see some of the house guards. A lot of, some of them are kind of like doing the classic like blanket over the shoulders, drinking wine because this is Italy. And there's a crowd clamoring, most of them well dressed. You see a few holy types in the crowd. You see a lot of the aristocratic types, even like some of like the uncommon rabble. How dare they? You can even see a few of like the peasant class they would be kind of like De Toro's a big name in the city, so like this is kind of a big deal to everyone. And of course, you're approaching the crowd. There's a bunch of like city guards. They're like, "All right, everybody, stand back, stand back. We've got this all under control here."
I think Giovanna kind of just takes Rosella's arm so that we both appear like, "Oh no, what's going on?" and like non-threatening and stuff like that. And while we walk up to the guards, just like,
I'm just gonna act as like a normal enforcer for the family behind them.
Okay, yeah.
Very
So you're
cute, very small. We have no idea.
Yeah, so you're gonna act more like kind of like valet type mercenary, where you're not like a uniformed guard for the house, but you're more kind of like the. Yeah, I don't know what to describe that kind of role, but you're kind of like that, the muscle, the
like
henchman.
a bodyguard almost, or yeah,
like a personal guard almost, less.
Privy council type thing,
bouncer,
body man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so very much a valet type.
Yeah.
So you walk up and, were you both in the manor? Is everyone okay?
It was an assassin.
An assassin, you say? Give me a nice...
I'm not lying.
I know, but I want to see, like, how much... He's a cop, so he kind of sucks.
Fucker.
Give me, like, a charm check. Let's see how much... Let's see how much like you're razzle-dazzling him, seeing how much are you selling the whole I'm defenseless, please.
I would like to see if I can also help with that. So roll a d10 and you could take the better 10's place. By just being like, "Oh yes, we live here." Like, "Oh, look distressed."
Can I make it a routine roll, Doge?
Yeah, sure. You can make it a routine roll.
I've been crying, so I don't have to fake that.
Same. Like we've both been
we've both been legitimately
weeping.
upset and crying because we're sad.
And this is more just to see how much the guard is like giving into the whole, "Oh, please help me."
We didn't ask for his help. We were just telling him what was going on.
Yes, but
critical success.
Aha!
See, it doesn't even matter in the end. You succeeded. Instantly gets the blanket over them. Sir, can you attest to this? Was it the assassin, right? They're a little too hysterical for a full given testimony.
Fucking Aristotle. "Oh, would you mind sending away some of these people outside? This is very disturbing when we are trying to deal with such a personal family matter. It's very, very distressing. Just please ask them to disperse."
All right, everyone go back home, go to church, wherever the hell you're supposed to be. Get out of here. There's distraught family members, and you're only making them more distraught. Get lost, you cretins. Hey, that's no way to talk to a noble of the house, blah, blah, blah. And, the crowd begins kind of dispersing as the guards... All right, so I do want the full testimony. You, sir, what's your name, though, big fella?
Enzo, senor.
Oh, well, nice. Enzo, can you attest that this was indeed an assassin?
Indeed, I was with the two ladies here. helped fend off the assassins that attacked the estates and attacked the lady.
Do you have any good descriptions? Anything that would affiliate them with anyone that we should be aware of?
I look over at Giovanna.
Keep it together, Enzo.
Yes, it was very dark. Robes, hooded robes.
Ah,
Yes.
shit.
Certainly somebody that would have meant to do great harm to the family. Of course, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, this is
Yes.
not the usual way that we deal with conflicts between ourselves. I do not wish to point fingers or name names.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, if you need to, feel free to come down to the guard barracks if you've got anything. If you find other clues, perhaps. If you don't mind, we'd love to take a look around the premise, see if we can help it anyway.
Oh, perhaps do give us a moment just to collect ourselves and
All right.
mourn
yes.
our matriarch.
Well, most understood. Got to make sure, everything remains. You've said the prayers and everything.
Oh, yes, yes, of course.
Do you need me to get a reverend down here?
No, we will take care of it ourselves. Madame Lenore had very specific instructions.
All right. Well, I'll post up a few guards out here. Make sure nothing funny goes on. If you need support, I know you lost quite a few guards in there. Just let us know, and we'd be happy to lend a hand any way we can.
Well, there is always a slight chance we might require an escort for some future errands, but we will let you know.
Well, the Florentine Guard are some of the best that you have. Of course, we're not
Yes,
the Swiss
yes.
Guard, but only the Pope can buy the best.
As you say.
Well, I hope you three have a better evening than it looks like it's already going. I'll make sure to get those statements down, and we'll see. We'll come back whenever, come out and let us know whenever you're ready to have us look around.
Sure.
See, buenas noches.
I mean, I would understand if you wanted to keep the investigation in-house. I mean, with...
I'm going to look at Giovanna. I think that might be best.
For
Shit, I
now.
wasn't supposed to say
For now.
that.
Mhm.
Well, have a wonderful evening. Hey, you get lost, and there's like another person who's like being like nosy, trying to classic like, ooh, what's going, basically like my mom trying to see what's going
City.
on.
The guard says scram.
Hides behind a barrel, watches anyway.
Look, not only am I getting a cult in this, I'm also like dissing my mom. Like, if my parents ever find this, I'm done for. So you're able to handle the crowd outside. Back inside, what's going on?
Davos is currently walking the grounds looking for fancy weaponry and an axe in particular because he's got some work to do.
So what kind of weapon are you looking? Are you like looking for a clue weapon or like a new weapon for yourself?
Well, he's looking for anything silver first off. He's looking for like a silver anything, sword, dagger, axe,
Candle holder.
Pretty much. He knows that the rest of the family won't like it, but at some point, Lenore's head needs to be separated from her body, and that's just an argument that they can have at some point. But he's getting something to protect himself and to protect them. So yeah.
Finding the axe isn't a problem. There's an orchard in the gardens of this estate, so it'd be there's a lot of axes laying around, and that's not a problem. Finding a silver weapon, on the other hand, silver's not a great metal for being a weapon, and you could find any normal weapon you'd be looking for if you wanted to like swap out the rapier, but like nothing silver here.
In that case, he's also just gonna grab any rosary he sees, and the first one that he grabs, he's definitely gonna spit on. But the rest of them, he's just gonna collect.
Okay. Letta, Ludovico?
So while we're by the body, are there more changes happening, or is it just the blood at this point?
It's just the blood at this point. The body just kind of lays there lifeless. It would be jarring for most people who aren't used to this sort of thing.
Um, it's still jarring for people that are.
Yeah.
Um, so Ludovico, are you in the room with us, or is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say the interaction I had in the basement was pretty quick, and the conversation that was going on was a little lengthy. So I think I might have been coming back around the time that Davos was demonstrating the crucifix on the forehead of Lenore.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And so at that point, I will probably mention that I'm going to go find the alchemical laboratory here.
Okay.
There is one.
Well, just me and Lenore then. Okay.
Now, Ludovico, you're able to find somewhat of a laboratory of sorts, a magical laboratory.
I'd like to see if I can try to find anything like powdered silver, silver nitrate, anything along those lines.
Yeah, you could probably find powdered silver, silver nitrate. You're a trained alchemist. That's not an issue for you.
I want to take all of it out of this room and start putting them into small vials and then storing them on my person.
I'll say you get like a decent 5 vials worth.
All right. Great. Where do I put them? Weapons and attack. You know what? Fucking silver. Got it.
And Letta, what are you? Are you just continuing to examine the body at this point?
So if no changes are occurring and everyone else has gone off to do other things, Letta will sit just outside of the pool of blood. So she's not sitting in it or any of the footprints that have been tracked throughout the room, with the staff across her knees, trying not to move too much so that the wound can stitch itself up, and just basically keeping Davos or whoever upon their return to not harm what's left of Lenore.
Okay. So, like, at this point, everyone kind of gathers back together around Lenore, kind of finishing whatever errands they were running. And you're united once again.
So you see, she did not come back to life like a revenant to destroy you.
Me, I don't understand.
Were you not worried that if you had not tied her up, she would come back to steal your soul?
I mean, we don't know how any of this works. Who's to say that she still won't wake up?
This is true. However, I have a feeling that after a few hours study tonight, I might find out.
Or get bitten.
It is always possible.
Speaking of bites, Ludovico, how's your arm?
My arm is fine. My neck, however,
your neck
stings with the white hot fury of 1,000 Rosella.
Oh, must hurt then.
Like a bitch.
Nothing new there then. I don't disagree with Davos. I think permanently getting rid of the body can be the only way we can be sure that she doesn't come back.
I don't understand this reference for a corpse. Lenore is not in there. That is an empty husk. It is nothing more.
Why is her blood black?
Because something must be coming in the husk.
If there's something coming back, I want the information.
Yes, I agree.
I understand that Lenore is no more. It's just, we need that information. We need something. I can't go off a dagger and a hooded bat.
And we certainly cannot go off of this by confronting the Depatsis head on. That is not an option.
No.
Do we even know, or do we actually believe that it is the Depatsis?
Well, I believe that the dagger gives us reason enough to suspect that if it is not them themselves, that they are pulling strings indirectly.
Or it's just simply throw us off? Did Lenore have any other enemies before that you know of?
Did she? That I would know of? That she would have talked to me about?
Yeah.
No, unless the church found out about her occult.
Well,
Hobby.
yeah.
She would have been
That's,
dead a long time ago if that was the
yes,
case.
it's true. She had a, decent working relationship with them, but no one specific that I was aware of. I tend to agree with Letta, though. If whatever is inhabiting her corpse is going to come back, bring her back to life, there is perhaps some merit in waiting to see what it has to say.
How many windows are in this room?
The library's actually. Oh, I'm muted.
Oh, you're muted.
Yes, I realized I was like, oh, I'm muted. I'm saying as I'm muted. The library is decently windowed. Like.
And are we on the east or west side of the building?
Kind of the middle of the building, because the library gets light like at all points of the day, because they want as much natural light. It was built with the intention of letting as much natural light in there as possible throughout a 24-hour day.
For reading, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
got it. So it's kind of like a Three Seasons room where it's all windows on 3 different sides on like the north end of the building. Okay,
yeah, it's
perfect.
a nice ass library.
Then I recommend that we stand vigil over the evening. Perhaps moving the lady to a what's the word I'm looking for? Cot's not the right work.
Dungeon.
No, we are not
No,
moving her
no,
to
no.
the dungeon.
Out of the pool of blood and into a cleaner space so that we can clean the rug. Practicalities, people.
Vico, we cannot all help it if that is where you wish to go and pursue your dark researches tonight. We cannot prevent you. However, we are keeping Lenore in a well-lit area where we can pay proper respect and tribute to the matriarch of our family.
And if she comes back as anything else throughout the evening, we have sunlight and dawn on our side, if necessary, along with whatever Davos thinks he found.
Plus, she's tied up with holy relics.
With all due respect, Giovanna and Letta, I would like at least 3 walls of stone between me and her when she wakes up.
Ludovico has a point.
Well, if you wish for me to take you seriously, old man, then you had better stop speaking in these riddles and half-truths.
I'm not speaking in riddles. I don't want to fucking be near her when she arises from the dead.
But you speak as somebody
all of these
who
others seem to.
Has experience with this, yes? So what is it that you are not telling us?
I am only experienced through fables and stories. I've never seen one up close, or I wouldn't have this bite on my neck.
There is a crypt, no? Maybe we could go there. It's stone. There's only one way in, one way out.
It's not as well lit as you would have liked previously, no?
No, but
I like this room for the sunlight. If you want to hide in a crypt away from this, absolutely.
No,
However,
I have no desire to be away from her. Ludovico, if you wish to go hide in the crypt, feel free.
Might I ask if you all will indulge me? If we go forth with this plan, and if she escapes, and she comes for us all, what then?
Where's the armory?
Look at us. Ludovico is on death's door. I have a hole in me. Letta, you have taken a thrashing as well. Giovanna, you have taken a thrashing As well, we are not in the condition to take gambles with our life for information that we might not even get. I say let's put an end to it now. If there is a potential threat, it is dormant, and we have the means to remove it from our lives forever. Let me take her head and let her sleep peacefully. We will find our answers in books and words.
If you're too much a coward to deal with this, you know
It
how
is
to
not
leave.
cowardice, it is wisdom.
This is necessary. I lost my answers before. I will have them now.
I agree with Davos. However, I think we could also put a time frame on it. If the sun comes up, she doesn't wake up, nothing happens to the body. Then we can dispose of the body safely. We give it until morning, and then when the morning comes, we proceed with whatever we think is wisest.
That's all I ask.
Bring her to her room.
I agree.
If we bring her to her room, there is the balcony, and we can lock her inside.
Let's do that. There are windows there, and it faces east, so the sun will rise and shine through the windows.
I would like to prepare before such a case would happen. Is there an armory or barracks here for the guards, Giovanna?
I'm sure there would be. Doge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They would
you could
have
basically
some
find
sort of room.
You could basically
Okay.
find any basic weapon that like you would
Mhm.
need.
Then if we are to wait, then I want to be prepared. I will make my way to see what I can scavenge that the guards did not take.
Okay.
And Davos, if it would set your mind at ease, I can always try again to predict what may come.
Play a dangerous game and we do not know the rules, and we put at stake our lives and the lives of many good people.
It seems like we're going to do that no matter what we do. You know, at least this way we can maybe learn the rules. If we don't, we have other leads. We have the dagger. We have... Look, Bianca de Medici married one of the Pazzi. We can freely talk to her. I can freely talk to her if I can get an audience. And she is far more likely to tell us something than talking to the Pazzi themselves.
Madame Captain, he points in the direction of the captain of the guards that he stabbed in the neck. She was one of the most fierce women that I have ever known in my life. She had a way with a blade that would put all of you at end.
And you took away her chances.
I gave her a respectful end, as she would
You
do for
took
me.
away her chances.
We will give Lenore the rest she deserves. We just want to make sure that we cannot, without a doubt, get answers.
Let's
This
hope
is
we can
just-
see the sun tomorrow.
This is just a chance. It is quite possible that nothing happens at all.
I pray. But it seems that we as a group have decided to follow Letta into darkness and ignorance for...
You are quite dramatic, Davos. I don't disagree with you, but you are incredibly dramatic in the way you say these things. Anyway, let's get Lenore to her room.
He just looks at Urzilla and like sweeps his hand. If ever a situation called for dramatics, I think undead creatures would warrant it. And he just goes to find the nearest bottle of wine.
Asshole, I love him so much.
And
So, real quick, sorry. I wanted to, Enzo, just to quickly go back to the corpses of those two creatures that we fought previously.
So one's like a pile of bones and dust, and the other one is still there. Yeah.
I would like to first take a handful of the dust
Mhm.
and put it in a pouch.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to inspect the body, but we can do that after.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna have
And
time.
I want to prepare Lenore's room where we're putting her, cover all the mirrors, make sure that, we have salt and candles and things in appropriate locations when we actually lay her out. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this is super meta, but you should get like a bag of rice.
Would we have rice?
Oh, maybe not rice.
Maybe. We
Wheat.
might. Maybe.
Wheat, maybe something that has like lots of little particles.
Some sort of like cereal grain of sorts. Yeah, sure. Basically just, do all of the good stuff that you do when somebody dies and you're making sure that their soul goes in the correct direction and
It would
not
be
comes back.
cornmeal. Cornmeal would be the most likely.
We
thing that
might
you-
have corn at this point. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Regardless though, all of that stuff, make sure that, we got coins over her eyes, all that good stuff.
Okay. So are you resting for the night then, or how's this working? I kind of want to.
I think we're taking turns, right?
Shifts,
Like
yeah.
watching over her body, because if she wakes up or, whatever arises.
I don't trust Davos, so I would take as many shifts as I needed to keep Davos Ludovico from being alone with the body.
Yeah, and I'm going to probably try and read some of the book that I found in the library.
All right. I will warn, you won't get a restful sleep watching the body. So those of
Of
you looking
course,
at
That's
the cover
correct.
or anything, you will not get restful sleep with this.
It's
That
okay,
is-
Alex. I still have drugs I can do. It's fine.
Yes, but for those who are physically injured.
Yeah, but Davos is just grabbing a bottle of wine, and he's going to make his way to the temple downstairs.
Oh. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. Man, this session's getting fun.
Oh, I reached one of these keys.
How can I reach these kids?
How do I reach these
Keys.
There is hope for the future.
Okay. Is anyone
The
else
younger generation.
Is anyone else doing anything wild with their evening?
Like I said, I just want to inspect the corpse of the creature.
Sure.
I wanted to find a court sword to replace my rapier, or a sword, or
Yeah,
or
you
a sword.
You could find whatever sort. If you want to find
Cool.
a Zweihander, go for it.
I definitely do not want a Zweihander.
All right, yeah,
is
you could take
is there an arquebus down there?
Yeah, you could probably find an arquebus. Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Okay.
You could just probably go through all the different weapons. Oh, there's an arquebus. Sweet.
Sweet. Just like home. Okay, yeah, and I just wanted to inspect the body. That's all I want to do.
All right, so I'll say Letta joins you for body inspection. Because Letta's saying that she would like to speak with you, Enzo. So Enzo, you're going to observe the body. Letta is joining you. Do you want to? So what are you trying to get from looking at the body?
Well, I'm gonna first use my boots to just kick it around. Is it solid? Does it still move around? Is rigor mortis taking effect?
It's a dead body basically.
Okay.
You kick it around.
I want to check
dolls and all that good stuff.
I want to inspect its hands, its molars, its teeth, its eyes.
So you're looking at the hands are unnaturally elongated. The fingers end in long, claws. And you notice there's kind of some web between some of the fingers and the pinky and some of the forearm. You're looking at the eyes, very just bat-like, just dark all over, just all pupil. The mouth, it's kind of regular teeth, but super pronounced canine. A lot of the teeth seem sharp. This is definitely a creature designed to rip and tear.
Now, for Enzo, he doesn't really believe in this stuff because he's always thought it to be made up. But he has heard stories of some things familiar to that or related to this. I want to see if I can use make a folklore check.
Yeah.
To help establish Enzo's thoughts on this whole thing.
Yeah, go for it. Fuck yeah.
He hasn't been really saying much for good reasons, and he's trying to establish it through his knowledge from the world that he's traveled around the Mediterranean. I want to see if these rumors, these stories, these tall tales, to help him understand, because obviously information from the others seems like they are way beyond his knowledge.
All right, yeah, go for it. I really like this whole I'm imposing a role on myself to see what I know.
Folklore, I do have the skill ranks, so I get plus 10.
Nice. That's a good feeling.
I beat it by 1. It was a 55. I rolled a 54.
So remember that Ottoman Turkish pirate I brought up earlier, Mustafa?
Was he a good guy? Did we have a good time, or did I not talk to him at all?
Well, so we brought it up like you know it. You never brought it up to the party. That's the dude who got the portrait for you.
Correct.
But you remember him telling you about a lot of stories from the Ottomans about weird bat creatures when they were dealing with a certain troublesome impaler,
right.
a Mr. Vlad Tepes, right? Like,
right.
You've heard some stories kind of like, you kind of remember these stories that Mustafa told you, Umar told you about, like, and you always kind of were like, oh, those are just tall Eastern European Ottoman folk tales. Oh, those silly Janissaries. They have all kinds of cool stories. Like, that's where you probably would have heard it before, is from your interactions with pirates and other people within that area, probably. You are muted, my good sir.
So while he's remembering this, Letta's just being nice and quiet behind him, kind of giving him his space to process, but being available.
Letta, I don't know what kind of studies you undertook at whatever monster you came from, but these kind of things, most people in the world would never realize or even fathom that it would exist. I'm having a difficult time trying to understand all of this.
I've never seen one in person either. These things are terrifying. People do not turn into bats. How are you doing with all this?
I've seen some things in the war, but nothing quite like this. Even when I was a privateer, I've heard stories of these unnatural, ominous type dealings. One story in particular comes back to the Ottomans, which I've had a fair amount of dealings I've had in the past. One of the same things that these, whatever these creatures are, appeared in some of the stories and tales that I've heard. Something about an impaler sorts out by Wallachia. I can't remember what Mustafa said. It was a long 6 hours or 6 days of, well, debauchery and sorts.
Yeah. I mean, you seem like a man of faith, and many from Castile are. Have you gotten to read the works?
No. I was raised by government officials. I lived a decent life, but I was always taught to earn my keep. I joined the war against Portugal for a time for Castile, but religion was always something of a superstition to help me explain things, because I'm not that smart of a man. I always knew the things that I've come across. Coin is always the bottom line in any engagement, any relationship, politics, what have you. But this is beyond me. But
yeah,
in the study, they took a painting, the Charlemagne one, a very rare painting, very hard to find. Trying to figure out why they would take such a painting.
Well, Charlemagne's been an important figure for what, 500 years at this point? Or is my math off?
Charlemagne, yeah, at this point, I mean, Charlemagne's the dude who kind of like made the whole Holy Roman Empire like possible. So he's
Yeah, so that was what, 7 or 800?
yeah, 740. He was born 748 and died 814 AD CE for those who don't use the old school way. Also, I put in chat, fun fact to note, Vlad Tepes the Impaler would have died probably about like around a year before the campaign started.
Would he be relevant to us? Would we know of Tepes, or would
if you talk to Ottomans, you would, because he.
I would.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you know anyone who fought in the Ottoman Empire, they'd know.
Oh, they know him for sure.
It's personal for them.
Yeah, it's definitely personal. Okay.
So yeah,
So 600 years. Math is hard. He was integral to the current structure that we have here. I'm sure we can learn more. Being surrounded by such a lavish library and being able to get into the ones that I'm familiar with, we can absolutely learn more.
That scares me, Letta. That kind of talk. Now I understand that, your scholarly background and such, your curiosities with this unnatural behavior. That kind of talk, like Ludovico and Giovanna, that kind of talk of magic and
Charlemagne was just a man like you. He died, he bled, he lived.
I'm sure. I don't know.
We can take this slowly and let me bring it back to what you know. I mean, are you familiar with Leviticus?
Somewhat, yes. Not really, no.
Let me bring you a line from Leviticus. Of the strangers who sojourn among them eats any blood, I will set my face against them. That person who eats blood, and will cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. This is unnatural. People have been going against it since the beginnings of times. This falls within what you should know and understand.
Just for that, Letta, both you and Enzo are going to subtract 3 from your current corruption score, because you're kind of helping each other process this wild stuff that's going on. And we will jump to the basement bros as we move along here. So, Davos, you're heading to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And Ludovico, you said you wanted to follow like the annoying...
A sneaky little pissant. Yeah. I want to be...
Give me a stealth roll.
All right.
I was just about to say Davos is in a bit of a state, so he probably wouldn't even notice.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Oh, no. Oh, 8 point. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
I can't roll below a fucking 80 today. What is going on?
Davos,
right.
Give me an awareness roll with a plus 20 on so make it easy for you. Ludovico, you're kind of stumbling. You're still wounded, so... Because
100,
in Zweihander...
Come on, 100.
Because in Zweihander, you can't just nap things off. Davos, it is quite apparent someone has followed you down here.
Go away. I need time to be alone. Go away.
You choose an interesting place to be alone.
Well, this seems to be the furthest I might be able to get away from the Christ and those who follow him.
That would be. Forgive an old man for prying, but perhaps you would like to vent or unload. Vent. That's not a phrase that they would have used back then. They don't have vents.
Sus.
Perhaps you would like to unload your mule.
He just he takes a drink out of the wine bottle and he hands it to you.
He'll take it. And he'll swig.
The ones up there think that I do not care because I understand that Lenore is no longer in that husk of a shell. They don't understand. They don't understand death. They haven't seen it. Not really.
I got a pretty good close look at one of them. I don't disagree. Whatever creature was driving that meat body, it was not human. If you think the best play would be to burn the bodies, I would not stop you. Though, to be honest, I don't know that I would stop you if I thought it was the worst play.
If I wanted to, really wanted to, if I wanted Lenore's head separated from her shoulders, then her head would be separated from her shoulders. The ones up there are
that for a moment.
The ones up there are a distraction, and I am in no condition to put them in their place.
They are not unskilled, these women. They are dangerous in their own right, Davos.
I have no doubt that they are skilled, but Lenore was not a fool. All of this, I think she knew something was coming for her. I think that is why we have her name. And I think that she would have left us the means of protecting ourselves. I just don't know where she would have put it. My best guess is here somewhere.
I will pull out the key of Solomon from my robe.
Ooh.
And I'll place it on the table between us. Right you are. She did.
She was smart. A survivor.
I will open the book.
You open the book.
Davos, I would ask that if you are looking for answers, that you read for them. She left them written in plain sight.
He takes another drink out of his wine bottle. Of course, for something like this, a weapon would be a book. Lovely. And he walks
Much
over
more
to
than a
it.
book, friend. You may not like the written word, but what is written down here? Weapons beyond your dreams.
He just looks at the book. Quite a weapon you are.
And the book whispers to you. Ludovico doesn't hear it.
Quite the weapon we are indeed.
Grazie, Lenore. Grazie.
Look to the moon, Lamore. Look to the moon.
will it help me kill whatever these things are to look to the moon?
Yes. And it will give you what you seek.
Then I will need to find a place with a better view.
And so the book stopped. Like, Ludovico, you don't hear what the presence is saying, but the book does the glowy text, starts humming for you. You know you've made contact, at least. Davos, you'll take a point of corruption for looking into the book.
I love that he has no idea that this is like even evil. He's just like, whatever.
Fuck it.
He starts to he gives Ludovico a pat on the back, and he goes, "Finally, someone speaking with reason. I will go to the moon. I will go outside to take a look at the moon. Apparently, there is something there that I need to see."
Wish you luck on your journey.
Thank you, friend. And I will sing my friends to rest. We'll be all right. If the wind is in our sails, we'll be all right. He's just making his way upstairs, singing shanties for the dead that have passed this night.
All right. Beautiful. Rosella, are you doing anything before I jump over to Giovanna?
Yes, I am. I find parchment. I find a notebook, a journal, something, and I'm making notes about business of Lenore's that needs to be concluded. I'll probably sit with Giovanna for a little bit, and I never really had anything close to a sister. I'd like to think it would be someone like you.
So many feelings.
That's very kind of you. Family can be complicated.
Put kindly. And this is not the family that I find complicated. I
No.
find the blood family to be a different beast.
Indeed. Certainly different to have surrounded yourself with those that you've chosen to be surrounded by.
Or ones that Lenore chose for us.
She's always had good taste.
I question it a little bit now.
Ludovico's fine.
I wasn't speaking of Ludovico, but okay.
Wait, who were you speaking of
I
that?
was speaking of Davos, but Ludovico works as well.
Davos is the kind of person that would have been extremely at home in the Veneto, where I'm from. You run into a lot of people like Davos.
I do too, unfortunately.
Occupational hazard, I suppose.
Occupational hazard indeed, yes.
While you two are having this wonderfully tender moment, a cloud passes over the full moon. Lenore was laid in the bed, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fancy.
She's still tied up.
Fancy headboard begins against the wall, and Lenore's head begins like twisting in all sorts of unnatural ways. Her hands are like trying, like you can hear the sizzling of the rosary on her bound limbs, and like she's like, and like there's these teeth that like jut out from her mouth, and her ears have gotten pointy. And she's still got the slash mark across her throat, and she just kind of looks up.
You wanted answers, yes?
Yes. Has it been enough time that Enzo and Lenore or Letta have made it back upstairs?
Well, you're making your way there. We'll say you're making your way. You're almost.
I'm gonna look at Giovanna then.
Can we hear the rattling?
Oh, you can tell something's afoot.
Then I'll start running.
do I also hear that rattling coming like upstairs to try and go to see the moon?
Yes, everyone who's like with it like probably knows something's up. But Giovanna and Rosella, you have a moment before your allies reach the room.
Do you want answers or should we end it?
I want answers first
Okay.
before Davos gets here. Who are you? What do you want? What you're doing here?
Who I am does not matter. What matters is our purpose.
And what is that exactly?
Your mortal minds are too weak to understand the true scope that this encompasses.
I think you find we're actually rather resilient.
See, you just lack the lifespan to truly understand. This is greater than Florence, greater than Rome.
What is greater than Rome?
Christianity. Yes.
The more sizzling happens as this creature tries to invoke, dare even speak Jesus' name.
Yeah, well tied up with rosaries.
Yes.
Life's a bitch and then you die.
And then it's at this moment everyone else rushes into the room and you see this like undead monster Lenore, loose jawed, fangs and just like hissing and like very unnatural, and the eyes are just glowing like deeply, and it's just very it's like the dead person, and like the throat slit moves once in a while to reveal neck bone there. And it's very like jittery and very in discomfort and distress due to the rosaries tying the limbs.
What is it that you want, Madama?
Our master has certain goals he wishes to accomplish. The one who used to inhabit this body merely got in the way. And I would recommend you stand out of the way as well.
The way of what?
Our master.
And how will we know to stand out of the way if we don't know who it is?
Stop trying to find answers.
And like the rosaries burn even more.
I'm gonna look around for like another small crucifix.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hissing, right? That thing's hissing. The mouth's
Yeah.
open.
Yeah.
I'm dropping the crucifix down the throat.
It's just, and after a while, it's like it kind of just and like molten silver is like drizzling down the tongue of this creature.
As I said, we're more resilient than you think. We're trying not to stand in the way.
Untie me and find out how resilient you are, for your flesh is weak.
We're not stupid today.
Get your answers so that we can end this.
I agree.
Has Lenore not suffered enough indignities?
Lenore isn't here anymore.
All the reason your head should be separated from your body.
I'd like to see you try.
What does this have to do with the Depatsis?
Why don't you ask them yourselves?
Do not try me. Spawn. I have read about your kind.
What's up?
No, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, could you repeat what you said then? You said basically something about the kind of the vampire.
Our wicked spirits have pervaded this realm for time immemorial. I am older than all of you combined.
Then I will ask you one more time before we end this. What is it you want? And what does it have to do with the Depatsis?
I merely want to serve my master,
Who is?
the one that brought me into this world. You'll know who it is when you need to. Now either end this so I can return to another cursed flesh form, or let me rend you limb from limb. It matters not to me. You will be dead at some point.
At this point, Davos would be trying to swing that axe unless somebody's trying to stop him.
I'll let him.
I'm not going to try and stop him.
Are there any like candelabras, like tall candelabras in this room?
You gonna burn the body? You gonna burn the body?
I was
Sure
just
there
gonna
are.
tip one over and let it fall on her.
There are
So that
very
she
specifically lit candles in this room because you're not leaving a body unattended, and you're sure as fuck not leaving it unattended in the dark. There are candles.
So you dump the thing on, the bed ignites, and the creature just kind of sits in the fire.
Well, I'm still cutting the head off, so it's a quick in for Lenore.
Yep, so as the creature tries to scoot away from the fire, Davos just comes, grabs the scalp, rips it to the head nightstand, and just cuts the head clean off. And the metaphorical light that this creature very much lacks leaves its eyes.
He is very fucked up by what he just saw. So he tosses the head to Letta and he goes, I hope you got your answers. And he just storms out.
Not with your theatrics, and I will put the head back. I will put the fire out so that none of the rest of us die because stupidity, and lay her to rest so that whatever embalmment or pine box is necessary.
Sure.
I still think we need to burn the body.
I agree. We will bury her privately with little ceremony. I do not wish to attract the attention of the overzealous guards.
No.
I don't want to lose the rest of this establishment. We can't let it burn down.
I agree. I think there's a strong fireplace down in the kitchen.
And advertise to the rest of the town that we've burned a body?
No, Letta. I think what Yerusala means is advertise to the rest of the town that we are cooking a special meal as we mourn our dead.
We feast.
To the family.
That sounded better in my head. Never mind.
All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to do before preparing for this strange funeral rite?
Decide to look at the moon to see what this book was talking about.
All right.
Yeah, actually, go make sure Davos is okay after just decapitating a vampire is what Giovanna's gonna go do.
All right, Davos. So you look to the moon, and what's up?
I was just gonna say he's got another wine bottle. He's like, now he's just act drunk, and he's just like, Sauce, I'm at the fucking moon. What do you want?
So
what do I get?
So it's actually, despite the events of this evening, it's a very peaceful night. The crickets are out. It's kind of cloudy, so you can't see all the stars, but there comes a point where the clouds just kind of circle around the moon, and almost as if you almost kind of swear you can see a hand extend within this light, pointing in a direction inside the manor.
Oh. He looks at the wine bottle. Oh. He drinks it and throws the bottle, and he's just stumbling towards wherever the hand was pointing.
So you go back into the manor, and you actually go back to the room that held the painting with Lady Sophia and her squire Nettle of the house Swiftfoot, and the moonlight is just kind of just shining on this painting.
Fucking books and the tricks and moons pointing. I'm at the fucking painting. I cut Lenore's head. What is Ludovico, your book. Is this a trick? Like he's just fucking losing it now. Big time. He is done. He's gonna poke the painting like, you're a weapon? You? Painting? Let's on guard. And he takes the sword out and ha! He's like getting in a dueling stance against the painting.
And in your drunken stupor, you accidentally knock the painting over. But behind this magnificently large painting is another one of those slab sets of doors that kind of reminded you of the secret temple you stumbled upon before.
I win! Ha! And he sheathes the blade and he opens the door.
And so you descend into what appears to be a tomb, not part of the crypt system, but inside the tomb, there's what it looks to be like sarcophagi for 2 armored women in the tomb. And there's the taller one, and it's labeled Lady Sophia of the Tower, Knight of St. Caliban. You know, then the rest of it's scratched off. And the other one's Squire Nettle Swiftfoot, Knight of the Order of St. Caliban, Squire of Sophia. And in the hands of Nettle is this magnificent great sword that looks like it's not even made of metal, but it's like a strange combination of stone and metal, and it's like this bluish colored sword.
Oh. Well, book. That is a weapon. Ladies, you don't mind terribly if I borrow that. I'll bring it back when I am done.
The corpses, the sarcophagi do not reply. The only answer you get is the echo of your own voice.
If there are any objections to me taking this weapon, I will be open to them. But until then, I will just, if you don't mind.
Yeah, you take the weapon out of the hands of the sarcophagus, and nothing happens. But it's surprisingly light, and it hums as you hold it. And it has a soft glow to it. It's not like any sword you've ever encountered before.
This will certainly introduce new death to us, I think. Well, I do hate to part with her. I will leave Persephone in your loving embrace. And he puts the rapier in place of the sword that he just got. And he kisses on one sarcophagus, kisses on the other one. Adieu, ladies. Adieu. And he walks off.
And Giovanna, you were checking on him. Did you see all of this?
So, some artists deal in matters of canvas and some in the ways of the blade.
Makes one wonder what kind of goodies are hidden around this whole ass house, huh?
Yes, indeed.
So does he bump into Giovanna on
Oh yeah, totally. At the most awkward possible moment, you're just walking upstairs. Yep.
When he's kissing the
when he's like, goodbye, ladies, and she's like, hi.
Hello. I would like you to meet the Order of Caliban, I believe it was.
The Order of St. Caliban.
Yes, they were so kind
Squire Nettle.
They were so kind as to provide me with a new weapon that I believe might introduce death to these creatures that we face.
Oh, really? Well, that will be only one small part of our ability to overcome them. You see, I am planning to stay awake and study these tomes. Lenore was very kind in indulging my proclivities, but now that she is gone, I need to take it upon myself to see that we know exactly what it is we're up against. And how best to defeat them if it is not through metal.
You know, nothing that we learned from whatever that creature was worth putting Lenore through that.
And what exactly did you learn, Davos?
He just takes the sword out and looks at it. I learned to be effective, and I did so without desecrating the memory of my friend. This letter, I don't trust her. Her hunger for knowledge is going to lead you all to death. I was right, and you know that I was, Giovanna. I told you that that body was not safe. I told you that the answers that it would provide won't be worth it.
Well, time will tell the value of the knowledge we were able to accrue. However, I expect that if we do not find it through whatever creature was inhabiting Lenore, I will find it through the occupants of her library, one way or another.
I don't know much about you, but I think that somewhere in you might be a good person. And if I'm right, I implore you that should I ever find myself where Lenore was today, that you don't let anyone sway the judgment to give me a swift death. I will not be whatever that thing was. I will not let whatever was in her in me. Can you help me with that, Giovanna?
Yes, I think for family, I can.
Family. He just walks off.
Just drunkenly stumbles away. Does anyone else have anything they want to do before we call it an evening? I'm not going to Chris you and break your hearts at the last second. I promise. If not, then until
How could we possibly top an ending outside of the Italian Don Quixote fighting paintings in the hallway, dude?
Right?
You're not wrong. So we will end on the note of Davos Quixote. What a session, y'all. What a time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. The system is Zweihander. I highly recommend checking it out. It is perfect for all your historical gothic horror needs, as you can tell here. Sure, we're more around the time period when Vlad maybe was kind of alive, but it still can be good to have some fun vampire fiction all over the place. Anyway, this has been Bloody Portrait. We'll go around telling you who we are, what we do, and where you can find us, and then we will say good evening. And let's start with Don Quixote himself, Noir.
Hi, everybody. I'm Noir. And also, just really quickly, I love you all. I'm not actually a dick. I'm so sorry for Davos. Yeah, I'm Noir Enigma. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter as the Noir Enigma. If you find me on Twitter, I have my link tree there. It's got all the different areas you can find me. The best way to keep up to date with what I'm doing is my Twitter. So check that out. Tomorrow I'll be on Morning Ritual. We have Brito on as our guest, so that's gonna be a fun time. And then I have Dungeons and Deep Dish on my channel on Sunday. So that is going to be a good time. I'll be announcing the guest for Dungeons and Deep Dish on Morning Ritual. So you want to check that out. It'll be a good time. Yeah, I love this game. This is a lot of fun. I love the party dynamics. We feel like a family and not a party, and like that's just really fucking cool. I'm very excited to see where this goes. But yeah, that's me, Davos Quixote.
All right, Chris, tell us who you are and where we can find you and what you're up to.
Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm reeling. I'm reeling from Davos Quixote, first of the Sith Order, coming to fruition here. But I am Bright Dystopia, or Chris, if you prefer. You can find me on my Twitch channel or on Twitter under the same names. Variety streamer, and very recently partnered with somebody that I cannot announce yet, but will announce next week, maybe. Super exciting for me, but you can catch me tomorrow on Saturday morning cartoons, where I'll be doing some streaming. I think tomorrow we're starting some spooky games. Sunday evening, I believe you can catch me on Adrift in the Void with Noir.
Shit.
Has that been
Yes.
confirmed yet, Noir? Yeah.
we can
All
do that. We
right.
can do that.
Nar will be with me, and we'll be playing. We'll be worshiping the light of Charles. For those of you who know,
worshiping Charles.
for those who know, we'll be worshiping the light of Charles. For those who don't know, come in, have a seat. I have a whole new religion to introduce you to.
Let him in.
Outside of that, you can find me Wednesdays on the Party Mansion with my friend With a Brick, Ray, and then obviously here on Fridays. And that's my bid. Thank you so much, Alex, for running this game, because I'm shaking.
I'm glad. I'm glad everyone's having such a good time. Anna, you're up next.
Boy, it's me. Hi, I'm Anna. I'm at Nymeria941 everywhere on the internet. Geez, this was such a good session. I'm not over it. What do I have to promote? I'm actually one of the developers for the Zweihander RPG, and we have just celebrated a very successful nearly first week of our Kickstarter launch for Flames of Freedom, which is powered by the same engine, uses many of the same rules, but it is colonial Gothic set during the American Revolutionary War, and I've worked really freaking hard on it, so it would mean a lot to me if you would go ahead and check that out. We just unlocked some really cool stretch goals of literal fortune tokens that you can flip back and forth that have awesome colonial skulls on one side. And if you like your, role play, grim, perilous, historical, and thirsty, you should definitely go check that out. It's Flames of Freedom on Kickstarter, or just hit me up if you have any questions about that. Other stuff that I do right now, you can find me, in addition to Bloody Portrait, also I am GMing a City of Mist game on the Twitch channel Heroes Without Limits, where every character is playing every player is playing a character with a real life myth or legend living inside of them. And then after that, I'm hanging out in the Party Mansion with Bright Dystopia and Ray with a Brick playing some Among Us, where everybody always votes me off the spaceship first or second, no matter what I do. So if you like watching me get airlocked into fucking space, come by, say hello. It should be a great time. In addition to that, I am also for the entire month of October running the Disability Readathon with my friend Erin, the Geeky Gimp. You can find us everywhere on social media at Disability Readathon, and basically the two of us created this because we really wanted to highlight awesome media and content and books, other types of text, everything that is created by and for and about disabled people. So if you want to come see my thoughts about the stuff that we are reading and making and enjoying for that, check us out at Disability Readathon on all of the locations.
Lovely, thank you. Liz, you're up next.
Hello, folks. You can find me at Know When You Know Backwards, all spelled out underneath on this beautiful overlay here. And you can find me over at Dice Priority when I'm not here on Fridays. This coming week will be the first trial of new systems for our Ghost in the Machine on Wednesday, called the Tales of Gishari. So that's going to be exciting. We're all going to be back at the table here, of course, distanced. We're all going to be virtually back at the table. And we'll be playing in the Great World of Edda on Wednesday. We'll be back here on Friday. And then that following Sunday, we'll be playing Mothership, Dead Planet, spooky horror, space sci-fi. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the cast and crew for that is amazing. So that will be our community theater one-shot for the month of October. And then other than that, Dice Priory is doing our Twitchy Halloween, led by Alexis and Emma. So go over and look at our socials, join our Discord, do all the things to see what we're doing and how we're doing it, and join us for our spooky October. So yeah, that's me. Otherwise, this is amazing. I'm so excited to be a part of this. Like I cannot contain it. It's that hype with the toad in the GIF and just hype intensifies. It's a lot. So here we are. But yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you. Mike.
Hey guys, I'm Mike. You can find me at Mike Melody on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram. I am DM_Jitterbelly. Usually on weekends, I'm with the stream team, my friends over at our own group called Just Roll with the Game Group. Come check us out on Sundays at noon if you want to catch some other TTRPGs. If you're around the neighborhood. Other than that, I cannot wait till next Friday to get really into this. Yeah, the characters are intermingling and it's awesome. And Alex, once again, great job. I cannot wait. It's been so much fun.
Thank you. Kate, you're up.
Hi, my cat's attacking me. Sorry. I'm Kate. You can find me at Kate's D8s. Holy shit, you guys. I love playing in this game. I had the worst work week. And then as soon as I got off, I'm like, oh, I get to dress up now. Holy shit, yeah. And, just the session is amazing. And the Doge is amazing. Much amaze. Such play. Wow. And when you're not seeing me here, you can find me every other Wednesday, also on Chromatic Chimera. I play Saren Calvor, the Changeling Wizard, over on Agora's Bells. And then, and then every other Tuesday, sorry, it's late. And then every other Tuesday, you can find me on One Crit Wonders, Star Trek Flight of Icarus, where I play Commander Ophelia Devar. And we will be playing this coming Tuesday. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Exciting. And I am the Doge. I am Alex. You probably know me as Mr. Puddins. You can follow me there on Twitter. I highly recommend that you don't. I mainly live here. You can find me on Wednesdays here, either in Agora's Bells or in our new campaign, 13th Age, Madame Curio's Bizarre Bazaar, where I play Torg, the Dwarf Ranger, with his pet Bulldog Terror. Good day, mate. So if you are interested in any of that, check that out on Wednesdays. Tomorrow we continue our Monster of the Week campaign, Mysteries of the Mojave. And then Sunday we have Awakened Pixels. And Monday, I believe our Quest game is on a break because they just finished Season 1. But if you like my DMing style, you can check out the VODs for Steam Spell on our YouTube channel. I've gotten a lot of high remarks for that one, so I highly recommend it. We'll be back next week with more Bloody Portrait, so you want to come back for more occult vampire bullshit. Grim, Perilous, and Thirst. Now let's go say hello to our friends over at Dice Priory, and I will leave y'all to have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye now, and stay satanic, and say maybe to drugs.
So they are watching a horror movie right now. So just content warning, that's a very different from where we're starting. Yep, okay. Lots of misogyny, lots of things happening because they're watching a horror movie. So just content warning, folks.
Oh, I saw they were just chatting before, so I was like, it's fine.
They're just chatting instead of watching.
Yeah, they're just chatting right now. All right, so bye, everyone. Okay.